4th, 2025. As you can see on the agenda, we do have one change on that. We're going to change 26 from a recess meeting to an adjournment. That is the only change on the agenda. Do you have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
With changes?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. That's the mayor's report. As you can see, that the mayor is not here today, and as many of you have read on social media, last week the mayor had emergency surgery for her appendix, and it's been a long week for her. We are happy and thankful that she is back home in Oxford resting, but it will be a little while before she's back in the SAC full swing of things. You know, the one thing about her is if anybody knows her, she does not slow down. She goes at full force and she tries to take care of everybody. And I suspect that she's watching tonight, and we would say to her that now is the time for you to take care of yourself. We need you at 100%, and we can't do that without you coming back too soon. So take your time. We've got this. You have trained this board and the city employees well. Let us take care of you for once. So we wish her a speedy recovery. As of this report tonight, we continue to see progress on the Highway 7 University Avenue roundabout project. Ramps on the both east and west have been shut down. This is due to expedite those being opened up, and we're hoping to have the progress of those 4 ramps to be opened up by double decker. So progress is pain, but hang in there. Last week we interviewed candidates for school board, and I am happy and pleased to announce that Denson Hollis was appointed to the school board. We also appointed Josh McGlown to the Affordable Housing Commission. As always, we are grateful for all those who show interest in serving in our community. We do encourage you when those calls that go out to serve on committees and those types of things, that you do put your name in the hat. I think a community served by its citizen is a lot better than not. Not surprised to anyone here who lives here that HGTV named Oxford as one of the most charming small towns in America. Duh. That certainly thanks in part to all of the amazing city workers. So we want to thank them for what they do to make our city shine. And with that, I will move on to number 4, which is to authorize the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting for February 18th of 2025 and the special meeting on February 26th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Authorize the approval of the accounts for all city departments.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank y'all. Ask that you consider the consent agenda.
Motion to consider the consent agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, number 7, Seth, is the OPC annual report.
I appreciate y'all having me come up and kind of share a few things. I know the annual report is always sent to y'all, so if you don't mind, obviously I'll be glad to talk about anything in the report that y'all want to talk about, but I'm really this year just kind of focus on just the new things that we did in 2024 and some of that, and maybe some goals for 2025, and we'll take y'all from that. We started a spring youth volleyball league, a spring youth flag football league, spring youth flag football cheer, summer youth basketball cheerleading, mini thumpers, mini passers, a partnership with Anchored, which is a site that helps us keep track of background checks and stuff like that for our coaches. Added DAC board for facility management, so anybody that walks in the gym knows what's going on each building at any time. We hosted the Keisha was at it, our Mississippi Association of Health and Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance Conference. We finished out the springboard floor in the old gymnastics room in the old building. New software we had created just for us, and we saved $1,800 a year by partnership doing that, and all good words for now. Hosted Crossroads Wrestling. We partnered with Oxford Swim Club this past year whenever we did not have a swimming pool. Live barn, so now parents can live, just like an M-Trade park. they can log in and watch their live games and stuff going on. We can do that in the gym now. We turned our summer youth basketball into a 3v3 league. Y'all, as y'all very well know, y'all allocated some money to put our own SRO in the gyms, and that has been a wonderful blessing for us. Repaired and upgrade the event bathrooms. We added an overtime at OPC, which is an after-school program. That one did not pan out, but sometimes they don't. Pirates Ahoy event, back-to-school carnival. We hosted several City of Oxford staff developments. We ran our new fall sports calendar different, shrunk up the season to give parents a little extra time away, off season, a little extra, couple weeks extra off season. We started a recreational pickleball league this year, hosted 2 youth wrestling tournaments, and of course, y'all were able to add a full-time person at night to kind of manage staff and kids and stuff that was coming in. So we've had a pretty busy year. We do all that. Last year, I was able to come in and say we had 36,000 registrations that come through in 2023. Proud to tell y'all in 2024, the number looks like it's less. It's 30,000 people this year. However, there was 12,000 people in the pool in 2023, and we had no pool memberships, no anything this year. So it's a net positive over 6,000 people this year over last year if you take out the pool. A couple of new things this year. July 1st this year will be the OPC's 75th anniversary, so hope to be able to do some recognition and stuff with that. Going to start our League of Champions program with a kickball program. Obviously open up a new city pool, new event playground, just a Stone Park master plan that the mayor has some money put in for, and of course Ben has got a master plan for all the parks in the city that I look forward to working with him. So I'm happy to talk about anything in the report, but I just wanted to get those things in.
Question. Keisha, you said you went to the dance program?
I did.
What kind of dance?
I learned how to square dance.
Okay.
Oh, good for you.
Do-si do.
All right, no other questions. I appreciate it. Seth, thank you for your report. We'll move on to number 8, which is the recognized MRPA Professional of the Year, Felicia McKnight. I believe she's here.
She is here. We'll ask her to come on up, but while she's walking up here, I'll also tell you this. At the conference, we also won 2 other awards. The Bo Phillips Design Award of Merit, which was South 18th Street Basketball Court, which Mark Levy played a heavy role in. I'm not sure if Mark's here for that. But we also won for a Recreation Program Award of Merit, where there are fishing camps that were ran independently through Aaron Barton. So this is one of the awards. They all look the same. Pretty nice looking award there. But the reason we're here is for Felisa. And the Professional of the Year is given, obviously it's the highest professional award given by MRPA. And she will tell you she doesn't like recognition. And which is why she has no family here, because I don't think she told anybody. She wasn't told when we went down to Natchez. We worked very hard, and she told me no for 2 months that she wasn't going to Natchez. And we finally tricked her enough to get her down there. So she'll tell you she doesn't want the recognition, but I'll tell you, you earn this by being just as an excellent employee like she is. She's been here for 8 years or whatever, and this is her last year. So very well deserving. Let her.
Well, like you said, I'm not much for recognition, but I do thank them for recognizing me for the work that I do. So, and I appreciate Seth for making me go.
Good job, and we appreciate you and everything that you do for OPC. We better give her her award. Don't let it sit there.
She forgot to bring hers, so they all look like that. So we wanted to bring all, let y'all see what they look like.
Awesome. So, all right, moving on, we'll consider a new fee schedule for the OPC pool for 2025 season. Seth?
Yes, and let me find it. Well, I have to pull it up. Looks like I forgot it. All right, so the Park Commission Board has met and discussed this a couple of times, and we'll kind of go through from 2023 to 2025 and the changes that they have recommended. Entry 3 and under, no change. Going entry into the pool for ages 3 and up, going from $3 to $5, leaving individual memberships and family memberships with no change. LLO water aerobics, no change for that, they would still be free. Swim lessons, they would be 1 week free if you do buy a membership, or there would be $20 a week for those lessons. Lap swim, water walking, those type of programs would go from free to a $5 daily fee or an individual membership, which we've got listed up top. And then the rentals of the pool, going from $100 to $200 for a rental, a security deposit staying the same, and then minimum of 3 guards, 120, which is what equals out to $20 a guard per hour.
So the free to $5, that's the aerobics, that's the water aerobics?
The LLO water aerobics, is that what you're talking about? That's still free.
The 3 to 5 is the, age
Regular
3 and
entry.
up.
Yeah, but there was one that went from free to $5. What was that?
That was the LLO.
Per day.
Oh, that's 55 and older. So now it's everybody pays. Once you're 3 years old and up, it's $5 instead of having a 3 to 54 being 3 and then 55 and older being free.
What are what's the reasoning behind changing it from 3 to 5 on the?
Just the daily usage. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot more at the pool. Just the new pool being there, the slides, just catching up with times, staying up with times, being $5 a day.
How many people use that daily fee out of that? You said 12,000 people come through there during the summer, so how many do you think use the daily fee? And the reason I'm asking is, are we gonna price somebody out from it, from going from $3 to $5?
I mean, daily fee, I mean, there's times where we would get 300 to 400 a day, but there may be, in the old pool, but there may be days where we don't get 50 people in there at the same time.
Do you have scholarships or anything for?
No scholarships.
Pricing out?
No scholarships.
And in the past, maybe this has happened, I don't know, is there something like if parents just drop kids off and tell them, go in with this money, and then they don't have enough, do they just get turned away?
It's never been told to me that, that they bring money and not have
Okay.
money left over. But yes, dropping kids off, is an issue lots of times. And we do have ages on our rolls that they have to be there and be a certain age to get in.
Okay.
So how many of the day use people 55 and older, and then you had 62 and older scratched? How many of the day users, I know their LLO aerobics is still free, but how many 55 and older does the day use impact?
I don't know that. I mean, I know, the reason that 62 and older was there was my original, presentation this year to our board, included 62 and older being free, and the board changed that to cutting out the free at that age. But I can't tell you how many
I'm just
individually
wondering what
each
the
day.
demographics are that actually use the pool.
Yeah,
as a
they
day
just
use.
when we were in the board meeting, they were just making everybody's price the same when they walked in the pool.
All right, let me ask it this way.
Okay.
What do you think with the fee change, what our increased revenues will be?
Increased revenues from just entry into the
2023?
pool?
Yeah.
Or how much money extra?
How much money actually do you think we would end up making with these fees change?
$20,000.
Did y'all look at figures? I mean, it cost, we knew we had this many people coming through and it's gonna raise it to this, or this many people. I mean, we should have known how many 55 and older there were. If we know.
I don't know how you track that. Whenever somebody's just walking in and paying their $3 to get in 2 years ago, how do we know how many is 62 years old or 55 years old?
If they were paying $3 2 years ago, they were between the ages of 3 and 54.
So you don't know how many?
I don't know how many was over 55
So you
because they
didn't
would
have
just
a
let
log
them
how many-
walk.
Oh, okay, you don't know how many free people.
Correct.
They didn't log that in, they just said,
Is there a way to track this coming year?
Yes, there's a new point of sale system coming in everybody will come in, will have that. Correct.
Well, no, you won't track the 55 and over because everybody's paying $5.
Well, my idea is if we're only talking about $20,000, I'd hate to implement this with, we're gonna make $20,000. I'd rather roll it back and not do anything this year, track that, and look at it next year when we know what those numbers are, because we don't have the information in front of us that we need to make the decision. I do want to be mindful of pricing anybody out of the use of the pool. I mean, that pool is meant for community use. I do think we have to charge something, but not, just hate to price people out between 2023 and 2025. A lot of stuff has gone up. And
Absolutely.
and, you know, $2, you look at it, oh, well, it's just $2. Well, if you look at it over a month, it could end up being $40 for some family, for a kid, for one kid. So if you've got two kids, it's $80. $80 is a lot when it comes to the price of eggs, when it comes to groceries, all that stuff. So for $20,000, I think we could cover that this year. We could find some money somewhere.
Yeah, no problem.
But I would rather hold off until next year when we have the data in hand, and then make a really good informed decision. And, you know, we also may have, I understand that there used to be scholarships or something that somebody was paying for.
It would have to been, before we were told that anybody that walks in a facility or plays at a program, whatever, they all have to pay the same fee. And so that's when scholarships were cut out, unless outside organizations are coming in and paying for them.
The thing I do see that's, in my mind, low is the party rental. By the time we pay insurance and, which is just a yearly fee, but by the time you pay your guards and everything else that are there to take care of it, I don't know that I think you're losing money there. So I might look at raising fees on that side.
Well, if you do, and just so you know, Oxford Swim Club is $175 for 2 hours, including lifeguards for their members, and $200, including lifeguards for non-members. So that's, Oxford Swim Club is the same prices.
Yeah,
Party rentals.
yeah. I don't know how y'all feel about the party rates, but
I guess,
Do they put-
like, what's the point? Are we trying to make money off things?
No, I just want to make sure we're breaking even. I don't know that you're gonna break even at $200.
I also don't think the city pool should charge more than a private
I agree.
club,
True.
you know?
I agree. And I think, so if a party happens, it's gonna
You
be
see what I'm
after
saying? Like
hours.
swim club
So
is
the
less
after hours
than
or
the city
before
pool.
hours?
Before hours and after hours, and you're gonna have to pay for,
city pool's bigger and has more amenities.
Yeah, it
too.
does, it's
Like,
bigger.
I mean, it's a lot
Which is-
bigger and a lot more
Yeah, which is
amenities.
$20 per guard per
Slide
hour,
and all
and
that.
how many guards have to be on?
minimum 3 guards.
So you're $60 per hour on, and that fee is how many hours? 2 hours?
2 hours.
So you're 120 on lifeguards.
Which is what it was.
Which is $90 right now, what we pay lifeguards.
Wait, $90?
Well, $15 an hour times, $14 an hour times 6.
But at the party, it's 120 if it's $20 per hour.
To cover that cost or any extra cost that we would have, yes, that would come back to the city.
So at 120,
Covers all of the lifeguards, correct?
I'd like to see it run 1 year, just as it was, just to see the numbers.
I don't have a problem with going up to 150 on parties. That would keep us under, and it would give them $50 extra. I mean, you're paying the lifeguards $120.
And Mark made a good point, it is a lot bigger, more amenities.
Yep.
So how many parties do you do a summer?
It varies. I expected this year to go up because of the slide and everything, but I mean, there may be a year that we have 20 parties, but there may be a year that we have 4, and a lot of times I dictated on the availability of guards.
But an average year would be.
An average
20.
year, I mean, 12, one a week.
I mean, I'd say 150, I don't get the vote.
I'm good with that.
So what do y'all want to do?
I say we get numbers, run it back to 2023 and then get numbers and figure it out after that with the only change being party, which would be 150.
An hour.
An hour? No,
2 hours minimum.
2 hours minimum.
Right, but 150 an hour, 2 hours minimum.
No, 150 total.
That's
150.
dropping
2
it
hours.
back. That's dropping it back. Right now, it's $100 an hour with a 2 hour minimum.
That means you're
So
paying $200.
So I'm fine, well, then I'm fine with $100 an hour.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Then just run it back to,
Yeah, I'd just say just run it back to where it was. I was thinking it was $200 for,
yeah, I'll make the motion.
Second.
all right, so the motion is to keep everything the same, correct?
Keep everything the same in order to, for us to monitor and figure out, to make sure that, so we can have better numbers coming for the 2026 season.
Perfect.
I think it's
Can I
gonna
ask
be a
a
big
question?
hit. I think when the pool's built, it's gonna be a big hit. You're gonna see a big increase.
Absolutely.
And I think, at least in my mind, the use, the incurred or the increase in use is gonna cover things that this price hike may be covering.
Do you have a
All
question?
right, so yeah, my question, and that's fine. We've spent time and we know we're going back to 2023 numbers for the price of admission for 3 and staying there on pool party. But swim lessons, lap swim, water walking, the whole left column that y'all got, that's what we're going back to, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And track, track.
And we'll track it. You got that new
Your
software. now.
ages and that coming in, so we have a better number of usage.
I'm excited about it. I think you'll have a lot of parties too.
Yep.
I think it'll go up.
So we got a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Thank you, Seth.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, you got one more?
I got one more.
All right, so we're gonna discuss the OPC Park inventory project with the master plan ideas. So
Yeah, so I'll just kind of go through a couple of highlights, because I know this is, I've sent this to Ben, and I know this is gonna be a major, point when we get into doing the master plan for the parks, but just a few things that I expect to either ask y'all for this year, and look at this year's budget and stuff, is, we know the activity center has gotta have a new roof, but as we're, doing that, working that, I'd love to have an opportunity to do some ceilings with the walls. When you go inside the old center, it doesn't give you that warm and cozy feeling like it does when you get in the new center. Of course, I know there's nearly 50 years difference between the two. Y'all are obviously upgrading the event playgrounds, potentially a bubble, maybe over event tennis courts, or maybe some over at the city park, or where we're at now, at John Leslie, potentially doing that. Maybe some extra bathrooms, update the lighting there, cover the basketball courts at Rivers Hill.
So I want to make clear.
Yep.
These are not things that are planned to happen.
No, they're
I
not.
just want to make sure that the citizens understand that they're not planned to happen. So
Correct.
as we read, as Seth goes through this list, we're not saying that we're starting next week on covering the tennis courts. I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
everybody knows.
no, it's long-range planning with this plan.
These are
is what this
dreams.
is. Yes.
that we're talking
Yes.
about.
No budget.
Right.
There's no budget, that's right, absolutely. Cover the basketball courts at Rivers Hill potentially one day, expanding the skate park. I know there's a group that's looking to raise money now. If there's any way to find parking at South 18th Street would be great. And of course, Woodlawn, just continue following the master plan that's there. It's a beautiful park, it's a beautiful plan. But that's just some highlights that I know put in there. Obviously, I'm happy to talk more about it if you want to, but that's what I've got.
So the good thing is two things. One, or three, a couple things. One, a comprehensive plans for the parks and trails. You're getting with Ben on that. So just to let the citizens know, over the budget session, Ben and Seth both wanted to do plans for the park so we can, as we move forward in the future, looking towards how to implement these things, a goal for OPC, a goal for Ben and the planning, especially with the trails and connecting those parks together. That's one thing that we're looking at, and that's kind of what they're bringing to us. Our challenge as a board is how do we pay for it? So as we move forward, that will be discussions that we have. I wish we had a benefactor that would just say, hey, here's a check. Y'all get to do all these things, but that's not the case. But we do appreciate y'all's effort getting us that, and we do all have dreams. It's just,
That's right. That's
be
right.
realistic how we pay for it. But I do think it's always good to look forward into the future and to plan, and that's what we've asked them to do, and that's what they're doing. So we appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you,
Thank you,
Seth.
Seth.
All right, we're going to request permission to advertise for an RFP for additional lighting display at Holly Jolly Holidays for 2025. Kitty and Clay, the rock stars. So that's Kitty, because I don't see Clay. Mrs. Holly Jolly herself, and also Double Decker.
Wasn't my name, the name I picked, but I got outvoted. We would like to ask for permission to put out an RFP to bid for more lights for Holly Jolly Holidays, and we are working with Mark and Jesse on budget.
And this was the plan from the get-go.
This was the plan from the beginning, yes.
So,
Motion made.
all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you,
Who was the
Kitty.
second?
Mark and Rick.
Mark and Rick. All right, request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for Lafayette County Democratic Party to host a demonstration on March 8, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Jeff?
Yes, sir. So they have asked to occupy the space in front of City Hall. They'll do some speaking, and then there'll be one lap around the square back to City Hall, about an hour, and then they've requested the parking at the crosswalk in front of Nielsen's, just to the edge here towards University Sporting Goods.
Okay. Any questions for the chief? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion and second, all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. All right, request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for the Oxford Lafayette County Chamber of Commerce to host a 5K, 10K, and Kids Fun Run on April 26, 2025, from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. Double decker.
Motion made.
Yep. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Number 15 is consider a bid received to the Woodlawn Davis Park Trails Expansion Project.
Got one more. 14.
We know you're excited about it.
Oh, yeah. All right, request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for CASA of North Mississippi to host kids, 5K and Kids Fun Run on March 29, 2025, from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Second.
All in favor? All right, finally. Consider bids received for the Woodlawn Davis Park Trail Expansion Project. Mark?
We received 5 bids for this project for the trail extension. TM Productions, they're actually based out of Starkville, was a low bidder. This is for a 6-foot wide asphalt path. The low bid was $165,985. That was below the estimated budget. So we are asking for permission to approve this project and sign the contract.
Move forward. All right, do I have a motion? Y'all quit being funny.
I move. Look, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Second.
You did?
All in favor? Any opposed?
Anybody make a second?
Yeah, Keisha did. Keisha's got my back. All right, thank y'all very much. I really appreciate it. Consider change order number 3 for JP Corp. for unforeseen additions and owner request items for the Oxford Swimming Pool renovation project.
So we're proposing 3 minor changes to the swimming pool. The changes include upgrading the railing at the front steps. We had some civil rails designed. We plan on upgrading it to the aluminum. Adding and changing partitions in the restroom, that was a request from Seth to add that in the restrooms, and then also add a window. The cashier window looks straight north, and we'd like to add one where they can see the pool and the covered area as well. The total for those is $6,581.18.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Number 17, consider request from Blackburn Construction, Inc. for Sunday work at Pearl Phase 2, Oxford Commons.
Yeah, if you recall, a couple of meetings ago, this request was made for inside work at the Pearl Phase 2, which is currently under construction down the hill in front of Christ Presbyterian Church. They have come back tonight to request again the ability to work on Sundays, and I think Raymond, the superintendent, is here and would like to talk to you guys, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Sure. Raymond.
I was requesting for, I knew last time we met, we was talking about we're gonna meet now to see about extending our work time. For the remaining other project, which would be, I think I requested mid-July. And I just wanted to follow up and see if we could be awarded that extension of that time for our inside work only for the 4-story buildings across from Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
What happened?
Now,
I mean, we know what happened, meaning we know that there was equipment out there.
that is two separate projects.
Yeah, I understand they're two separate projects, but the neighborhood doesn't know that. I mean,
Well, yes, sir, I understand that the neighbors don't understand that the site work is the Summit project and the Pearl is the 4-story projects we've already got built.
right, but on Sunday, how does equipment come out there and work?
I was not aware of them being on site to that Sunday working until I got a phone call from the city inspector. They were not supposed to be on that project. We didn't have superintendents on our project because there's no work supposed to be going on at that time. The site contractor is with us here, but there was their people that took it upon, they made a bad call, and that was nothing that we were even aware of, and they knew that they was not supposed to be working on that civil side.
So you understand why shut everything down?
Because, no, I don't understand why my inside work on a separate project was shut down because of the civil work on the project north of that.
Because in this meeting, we said if any work goes on Sunday, it disturbs, and it was told to us that it was inside work. And then outside work was happening on Sunday, disturbing neighbors, and we said we were shutting it down. That's why it was shut down, okay? And I would say moving forward, we expect that no outside work to be done on Sundays.
Correct.
Unless given permission,
Right.
okay? The other thing that we're hearing is parking in the church parking lot by workers
Okay.
on Sundays.
Okay. I have not.
So let's, if this is approved, I would say, let's stay out of that church parking
Okay,
lot.
that is no problem at all. Just the guys were used to parking in that area during the week and stuff, but like I said, that ain't no problem. I can park in the edge of our parking lot. That's no problem.
If we get complaints from neighbors or anything like that, we're gonna shut it down.
Okay.
And that doesn't matter,
understand.
it doesn't, that's not directed to you, it's not directed to the dirt workers, it doesn't matter. We're getting, that's any site that we give a Sunday approval to, it doesn't matter if it's the activity center, if it's the city pool, if it's the storage units on Thacker. If we get complaints, that's our deal.
So, okay, can I make
That's
sure
our
I'm
policy.
understanding right? If regardless of what project it is in relation to each other, if it's two separate projects, if you get a complaint on one, are you shutting down everything?
Yeah, I think yours is a little bit different because it's Blackburn Properties, it is Blackburn Construction that was doing the work, so we shut it all down.
So anything
Moving
that
forward,
associated
I'm
with-
telling you, moving forward,
Okay,
you need to be on the inside,
yes, sir.
and that's it.
Okay, that ain't no problem, and again, we were not aware of that happening. So like I say, I didn't even have no superintendents on site or anywhere around that until we received the phone call.
Yeah.
Without our knowledge.
He doesn't have anything to do with that other than, I mean,
No.
he doesn't.
I
know this.
understand.
You're directing this to him, but you need to direct it to David.
I'm directed to anybody, well, it's David Blackburn that's seeking it's Blackburn Construction seeking the work on Sunday. So I'm directing, if you're Blackburn Construction,
Yes, sir, I'm representing.
okay, that's who I'm telling. And I don't care who the sub is, I don't care who it is. If it's not permitted to do work on Sunday, then it doesn't need to happen.
Yes.
And if we get complaints, even if it's permitted, we get complaints, we shut it down. Okay? And so, no loud blaring music,
No.
none of that stuff. Let's,
And I had actually.
we want y'all, we don't want to slow you down, but at the same time, we're going to make sure that we're taking care of our
Yes,
citizens.
and I want to respect the people around us.
That's right.
Let me make a little point there, just to kind of say, on the Pearl, we haven't had any calls. They had 32 workers there, and there was no calls on the Pearl. So, I mean, that's just, yes, there were problems on the other end.
Yes, sir, on a separate project
Didn't have any
altogether.
calls on the Pearl.
But it's all under the same umbrella, right?
It's all-
That's right.
Right, so that's why unfortunately you're getting.
You're getting the brunt of it because it's under the same umbrella, but
Yeah,
let's just, look, we're learning from our mistakes.
Yeah.
tell your friends.
And yes, I feel say definitely we will make it aware, and I'll have my guys to probably put up signs of knowledge on them projects that we don't have permission on, that they understand that there's no work on Sundays. I can more than welcome to that.
So it doesn't have a timeline on the request. We know you're wanting to work on Sundays, and originally you came
Yeah, the civil
till
side-
July.
The civil work, I'm not requesting anything on that, it's just the interior work on the Pearl project, is what I'm needing.
Okay.
How much time do you need?
Right now, with the way our schedule is, that's the reason I would request if I could get that, the remainder of what we're doing, because I do need them days all the way up till we turn over, to make sure we get them students in. Yes, sir, to July.
To the end of July?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So do, unforeseen conditions and.
One to 7? Yeah. I don't have a problem
Is there
with
a
it.
time, okay, a timeline? Is there a time set for that?
You're setting your hours from 1 PM to 7 PM.
1 PM to 7
Which
PM?
we did the last time.
Yeah.
I'll make
One to
that
seven.
motion.
Okay.
One to allow Sunday work 1 to 7, no parking in the church parking lot on Sundays.
Yeah.
Through the end of July, pending complaints.
About any Blackburn building?
No, just the Pearl.
This is just Pearl. Nobody, just let it be known that nobody needs to be out there working.
Nobody else has permission to.
Nobody has permission to be working
Under
other
the
than the
Blackburn
Pearl.
umbrella.
Under that approach.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so we have a motion. A second, all in favor?
All right.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Thanks. All right, consider a request for HR Design Build to work on Sunday, March, and April to construct the bell within the Lamar development. John?
Yes, sir. This is the same group in the Lamar Phase 5. They've come a couple of times. They just sort of do 2 months at a time. We've received no complaints. I don't think building has received any complaints for this, so we recommend allowing them to keep on until we get complaints.
We didn't have a time restriction on them, did we?
No.
We have not, we do not have a time restriction on them.
no
There's
churches-
there's
no
not a church
churches in
anywhere
that
around
area,
it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Consider a request for Seeker Properties LLC permission to place a lift for exterior painting in front of the Bourrée Restaurant during the week of March 17th through the 22nd, 2025, and to also place a roll-off dumpster in the same area.
Yeah, so the week after spring break, which is the week after next, they want to do some exterior painting on the front of Bourrée and also a little inside work. So they're asking to reserve 2 spaces right there. They will not be blocking a sidewalk, will not be blocking a crosswalk. Just the reservation of 2 spaces is what they're asking for the lift and for the roll-off dumpster.
Just 2 parking spaces?
That's what he said, just 2 parking spaces. Yes, sir.
On the
They have to
roll-off,
pay for them, right?
Yeah, they will have to pay for them. Yes, sir.
on the roll-off, it is construction material only.
Correct.
That's correct, yes.
I didn't want stuff leaking all out.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be nice if they could get that done next week.
Well, I think the availability of the lift was the reason why he's having to put that off, because that was discussed.
All right, do I have a motion?
Second.
No, do I have a motion?
Motion made.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to accept the bids received and awarded for contract Oxford Conference Center re-roof project. Have we not done this like 800 times?
How many rooms?
I mean, where's Mark?
We've done it in phases. This is
Okay,
Yeah,
this is phase
B.
87.
This is roof B.
B?
Yeah, this is roof
Double B?
Motion made.
Yeah, yeah. I'll note, this is like half of what that Micah had budgeted for that project. We got references, we checked these guys out to make sure they were reputable and everything came back okay, so we're recommending the award of their bid.
All right, we got a motion. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consider approval of the general service contract with HDR Engineering, Inc. for professional engineering services.
Yeah, HDR is the firm that we use for traffic engineering consulting, primarily traffic signals, things like that. We do one every year for about 80 grand. It's in our budget. This is just a re-up from last year.
so moved.
Second.
With the caveat, they fixed the College Hill, Jackson Avenue, Sorority Road timing sequence. It's messed up.
That's on the list.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Consider change order number 2 and 3 for the SR7 Water and Sewer Relocation Project Phase 11B. 2B.
Yeah.
Is that 2B?
2B, yes, sir. So the reason we split these up into two separate change orders rather than one bigger one is the force main that we found is a little relocated force main out of the Villages development down there, and it's a private force main, and rather than have to go back to MDOT and redo the utility agreement, which would take another 2 or 3 months, we just decided to eat that and put it in its own change order, eliminate the MDOT red tape, and get this project over and done with.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consider change order number 1 and pay app number 1 for the M-Tray Roundabout project.
Yeah, so when we got out there and started laying pipe under the old soil cement that the parking lot sits on, nothing but mush, mud, water, which is why we're about to sink a new well and water treatment plant out there. But for roundabout, it's not good. So what we had to do is go in there and basically undercut and bring in a lot of rock and riprap to stabilize that. So this change order covers that additional cost. That project is also way under budget, so we're still well below the line of where we need to be.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consider request for intersection conversion at Heritage Drive and Anderson Road.
Yes, so Heritage Drive and Anderson Road, we conducted traffic volume counts back in the fall of 2024 and did a stop sign warrant analysis, which it showed that it did warrant, at the board's discretion, transition to a total 3-way stop intersection. So that request has been made and is brought before you guys tonight.
When you put those out, do you have cameras that are watching to see how many times Jason drove by?
No cameras.
I don't have to. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this is,
Motion made.
workers in my office said, get this done, so.
I'll also make one point of clarification there. If and when the north side of Anderson Road develops right there, which it will very soon, that intersection will actually become a traffic signal, which will be paid for by the developer. But this is gonna be an ongoing transition, because before long, it'll go from a 3-way stop to a full-blown signalized intersection. So, yeah.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank y'all. Ask the board consider executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The board now